She was already with somebody, wasn't she?
She had been already a year and a half before that for a year.
Yep, almost every time.
And she already had a plan. Like, we laid out all these ground rules, what would happen if we got there, and she was with somebody, like, almost right away, somebody different than this other person.
Big fucking deal. I'm gonna tell you what's really crack-a-lack.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Exhausted Truth, where I am your host, and I'm very exhausted from always having to tell the goddamn truth. But once again, someone's got to do it. All right, so I came across this video. I think it's the Dr. John Delaney show, and dude called in. And first of all, his demeanor when he first calls in says a lot. And then he continues to talk about how his wife wants an open marriage, and she thinks it's for the benefit of their relationship. But it's what he says in response to his wife asking for an open relationship that makes this whole thing pretty damn interesting. Anyway, let's get into it.
All right, let's go out to Pittsburgh and talk to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, what's up, man?
Hi, Dr. John.
What's up, dude?
How are you?
Good, man.
Just looking through the notes that I wrote down, make sure I don't miss much here. I'm a very detail-oriented person. I like to lay things out before I do stuff like anything like this. So,
well, I had a coworker call me and I quote, hot mess this morning. So I need some order in my life. So go for it, man. Read it out to me.
So this time last year, my wife asked me for an open relationship. And I could see that she was struggling really bad and had been for a while. And I felt like I didn't want to just say no to her. So basically I said, I'll give you a month, not do anything, nothing physical. I said, I'll let you collect information, give me some data, tell me a reason why you think this would help us.
She was already with somebody, wasn't she?
She had been already a year and a half before that for a year.
Yep, almost every time.
And she already had a plan. Like, we laid out all these ground rules, what would happen if we got there, and she was with somebody, like, almost right away, somebody different than this other person. And both of them were from work. And then, so I am struggling with this because it wasn't, after the first month, I was like, this is not something I want to have anything to do with, which I knew before I even agreed to any of it.
Right.
If I would admit it to myself. But then, I asked her to stop and she said no. And even though she told me she hadn't been with anyone, there was nothing there. She was still sleeping with me, and then I find out later that she wasn't using protection with these people.
All right, hold on. We're gonna stop that right here. First of all, this man says he didn't want to say no to her. No. See, he's already lying to us, y'all. Of course he wanted to say no. But why didn't he say no? That's the real question. Why did he decide to go along with this and collect data and come up with an analysis on how this could help our relationship? That's bullshit, and he knows it. It's not just me saying it's bullshit. It's not just the people watching this knowing it's bullshit. He knows it's bullshit. A, he knows he's not okay with it. And two, I said A and two. That's pretty funny. Anyway, B, and he knows that out of fear of losing his relationship, he's willing to give this a shot, even though he knows it's bullshit, and even though he knows this shit is foul, but not to mention, that doesn't even mention the fact of how beaten and withered and defeated this man already sounds. Now, I don't want to say already insinuating that he hasn't been going through this for a while, but from the jump of this conversation, the second he says, hi, doc, you can already tell this man's been defeated, and he's beaten. So listen, we have a man who's defeated, who's beaten down, withered, and he's going along with this bullshit that his wife brought to the table about an open fucking relationship. How do you get in a marriage and then decide, well, let's try and open this motherfucker up and see if that helps our problems? Both of them know it's BS. She knows it because she's already fucking someone else. So she, of course, knows it's bullshit. The issue is that he's not man enough to stand on his fucking own 2 feet and stand by his principles and tell her to her face that you're full of shit. I know what's going on. And it stops now. But he won't do that because he's afraid to lose her. Let's continue. Let's see where this goes.
And you're stunned that she goes and sleeps with somebody else right away.
Yeah, she broke every rule the first time.
She's not a person of integrity. And I'm only telling you that because I love you, man. She's a person that lies and cheats to her husband and her ride or die for 16 years.
I would like to say that so we went on a family vacation, and she on this vacation, we were driving through the middle of the night because we have young children, and I wanted them to sleep. And her phone was still lit up because everything was locked on it, obviously. It was still lit up, so I grabbed it, and I found a bunch of stuff. She was sending videos and pictures and all sorts of stuff to many, many people. And from that day, we started working to try to fix this. And then I found out everything maybe a month and a half after that in July. And since the day that she has come clean and told me everything, she has done every single thing I've asked. She has gone to counseling. I've gone to counseling. We're about to start couples therapy. We've taken trips together. We've really tried to reconnect on all levels and become better parents and just do things together. And to be honest, I've found nothing since then that says there was more. And trust me, I became a person who was searching phone logs and doing all this stuff that I had never done over the first 15 years. I'd never even been through a phone.
Told you. Fucking told you. He already knew that this entire thing was bullshit. He already knew that he fucked up the second he agreed to this. And like I said, she was already fucking someone else. But again, none of this is a surprise to me. Only idiots and only clueless people who probably shouldn't even be in relationships because they're this fucking naive can't see what's going on here. All right, they can't see what's going on here. This is blatant disrespect. She was clearly already seeing someone else. He knows it. She knows it. She's waiting for him to say something. She's waiting for him to be a fucking man and call her on her bullshit so she can end it. Well, they can end it. He can end it. That's what she wants, but he won't give it to her. And it's actually really sad because it's the one thing she actually deserves is to be called out on her shit, and he can't even do that.
Other people.
That's right.
I start visualizing, and then I ruminate, and then I spiral, and then I make up scenarios in my head, and I make everything even worse than it probably was.
Maybe.
And then I ask her about it, and then I can see the guilt is crushing her because now that she's in a healthier place and knows what she is doing to me currently, for my children, for her, I need to start feeling better and not being so crushed day to day and not having these 2 or 3 days.
Brother, the marriage you had is over.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that.
Y'all can, no question about it, decide to build something new.
And we have. I think that's where we're at right now. If I could move forward, I think she is starting to. And
do you see how this is turned on you and you're making yourself the bad guy?
Yeah, I'm good at that.
I know. It's one of your spiritual gifts. Stop. Quit it. Quit it. It doesn't help the situation. The reality is the person who is the mother of your kids didn't stab you in the back. She stabbed you right in the face. And then tried to concoct a plan to get you to go along with doing it in the future.
He's going through her fucking phone. He's doing all these things to ensure that she's not out there doing something that she's not supposed to. These are the lengths that he's had to go to just to feel comfortable sharing a bed with this woman that he calls his wife. Not only is this shit ridiculous, the fact that he knows that, it's one thing when you're oblivious, right? It's one thing when you're like, I know I was being stupid and I didn't see it at the time. He fucking sees it right now, and he still won't do what needs to be done. Listen, I know people don't like throwing around the loser word a lot, but you find another word for this man. Sucker, simp, punk, buster, mark, I don't know. He's being a fucking loser. He's so worried about losing something that he's already lost. That's the fucking key here. Is he's trying to hold on to the relationship and the marriage that he once had, if he ever had it. I mean, she could have been doing this up until she finally got caught. Who knows? Anyway, he's trying to hold on to something that's gone.
And you being a guy that always goes to the mirror and is convinced that you're the biggest piece of crap on planet Earth, and you can't believe a woman like her would even be with you in the first place, much less have kids and be your wife, went along with it.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to face.
I know it is. I know. Here's what she really needs. She needs you to stand up on 2 feet, tall. Put your shoulders back. Y'all are keeping the car going. You are. But you have to ask yourself a question you haven't asked yet. What do you want moving forward?
I want to make it work with her for our children and for me and for her. I don't think it was ever about leaving me or any of that. These were both married men. I gave one of them 24 hours to tell his wife he lived locally, and then I made sure she knew the details. The other one wouldn't even admit to knowing her, so I got his wife's phone number, and I made sure she had all the details.
And did that make you feel any better? No.
Not really. I was angry at the time.
It's pure anger and rage.
He's trying to hold on to a marriage that died a long time ago, and whatever is in its place right now is a fraud. And it's mimicking what the relationship used to be, but it's not that. And he's willing to be disrespected. He's willing to strip himself of his manhood to hold on to what he thinks is still his marriage. Hey, the doc nailed it right on the fucking head. Stabbed you right in the face. And you know what he did? Took the knife out, licked it, and put it back in the drawer and went on with his day like nothing fucking happened. I mean, this is just fucking ridiculous. Of course it didn't make him feel better. You know why? Because it didn't change anything. That's why. It didn't fix his relationship. And this man is so busy holding other people accountable more so than he is his own fucking wife. If this is what you guys are gonna do when you get a woman that's quote unquote out of your league, then I suggest you get someone in your league. Because trust me, your life will be much better being able to stand up to someone when they're disrespecting you and lying and manipulating you, because you don't have that fear, as big of a fear of losing them, because you don't feel that you could ever get anything back and you feel so lucky. You can't have that feeling if you're not going to do what it takes when or if the time comes. You might as well avoid it altogether and go get you someone that you feel like, hey, I like this person, might love this person, but if they were to disrespect me, I feel confident enough standing up to them. It's a shame a lot of these motherfuckers can't do it. This man included. Anyway, y'all, until next time, that's my time. Peace.